Not,
No, not
No,
yet.
no.
Now we are. Now we are, Bishop Brendan. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show of Mauls, Balls, and All the Breakdown. We are live on YouTube and to be interrupted page on Facebook. We should be up on Spotify later on at some stage. So, any subscriptions on YouTube and Spotify will appreciated. First comment in there from Gregor. Evening, Gregor. Nice to see you.
McGregor.
Yeah. Now, of course, tonight I'm joined by James Grennan, and some of you know him as Scaru Two-Tone in the group, but we've called him, given the nickname of Bishop Lynn.
I'm running out of fucking aliases here, fucking Danny. I'll have another one next week.
Yeah, fucking be great. Lads, I suppose we'll kick off with the Interpros first anyway. James, will come to you first. Connacht 37, Ulster 30. Ulster leading 22-10 at half time. Was it really the game of two halves?
It was. It was a cracking game, I have to say. Now, Hannah Clark scored the Connacht's first try there. It was a cracker of a try, and then Connacht really, I don't know what happened. They just got bogged down. They seemed to lose their way a bit until into the second half. Then I say Ulster had a real purple patch from about 10 minutes in, right through to the second half, and then Connacht, they woke up again in the second half. Then Orla Dixon had a great game as well at 13. She really brought the fire. They got a try just before half time, Connacht, to put a bit of smack on the scoreboard, and then Orla Dixon came out. I don't know what was said, what Emer, their head coach, said to them at half time, but whatever she said anyway, it got them going, because Dixie was fairly on fire anyway. She made a few line breaks, brilliant at 13, and they scored enough tries then to win the game, bonus point win. So yeah, good game. Frustrating as hell to watch in the first half, but enjoyable in the second half.
Len, did you see any of the Connacht Ulster game?
I saw only snippets of it. I was busy on them and I was kind of following the score. But you asked a question last week where Connacht a 40-minute team, so obviously not, because they came back from behind twice to win that. So fair play to them, and again 22-10 down, as James said at halftime. It was a bit of a margin. So yeah, the bits I caught, I saw Hannah Clark's try, the one that she broke out from her own half.
Yeah, that's Gregor's just alluded to that there. The winger who scored the try. That's Hannah Clark, Jack Clark's daughter. Jack used to play for Ireland.
Yeah, I know that. Actually, I can't. Without my glasses, I can't see the comments, so I'll take your word. Come on, Gregor. But I saw that. I actually saw that try, and it's the thing with the women's game. Like we've seen this in the Irish game as well. The women are just. We saw even Higgins try there last week. From your own half. It's great to watch. Like you think you touched on it there last week, Danny, or maybe on the group. One thing about the women's, why I think it's so watchable, it's much more free flowing than the men's game.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, all right, yeah.
Yeah, the men's game is now down to such fine margins that you see very little of that. You know what I mean? But we're seeing a lot more. So it's actually between the provincials and the Women's World Cup, some very enjoyable rugby to watch, I have to say.
Yeah,
but yeah, fair play to Connacht to get in third place.
Len, I'll come to you in this one. Munster 50, Leinster 15. Munster up 31-0 at half time. Yeah. Do you see that game?
I did. I watched all of it. Great game. Look, what can you say? It was a one-sided game, very one-sided. I know Leinster got the 3 late tries, okay, to put 15 on the board, but geez, I don't like to see any game really where there's an absolute hammer, and it's not great. Yeah. But look, from Munster point of view, we stopped Leinster doing 3 in a row. They won all 4 of their games, bonus point in every 4 games. Absolutely fantastic display by Munster. I mean, Matt Brown and Niamh Briggs have that team so well drilled. I mean, Leinster couldn't get out of their own half. They couldn't put any form of an attacking plan into their game at all. They were just stopped at source by Munster at every angle. Like there was
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gregor just come up there saying, congrats to Munster into pro champions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, stop Leinster doing 3 in a row, and like I think I'm right in saying there's 10 new players in that squad this season in the Munster squad.
They
You know what I
probably would
mean?
be, right? Yeah.
And to have them as well drilled as they are in all 4 games is testament to the coaching. It was absolutely, they just stifled Leinster's attack. And even when they made a break, then ball came forward. Kate Flannery, I thought, was excellent kicking out of hand. She just pinned them back into the corner. So they were at nothing really, and like you have to feel for them. Then you had Jane Closey, like she's the Claus daughter. Fucking hell, she was just an absolute menace at the breakdown. She was like, there were some very good performances overall. Katrina, there's another one. Katrina Finn. Was that her 3rd, 4th player of the match?
Something like that, I think, anyway.
And she's a debutante. Like she only came in. She's only playing 3 or 4 weeks at senior level. Like, you know what I mean?
I think you're as well.
And as Gregor said then, on the group, it was a very fitting. It was a nice win for Flory Pierce to go out on her final game for Munster. So yeah, great results. Number 1, won the trophy, top of the group. Delighted.
Yeah.
There's going to have a big Munster flag behind here, by the way.
See, Mike Sheehy is in here. He says, Munster girls did us proud 4 out of 4. The champions, again, Munster women did it in 2023, which is the last time we did it, so that's about 2 years ago. Peter in here, a subject worth mentioning is, it appears there is less HIAs in the women's game compared to the men's. Does the panel have any reason for this? Are the women just better coached in this, or what is it? James.
So I don't know. Is it maybe the hits are bigger in the men's game? Although having seen some of the international rugby and being on the sideline over in Northampton, it didn't sound like the hits were less in the women's game. Some of them were colossal, but I think maybe that's it. That there is more hits there. This new innovation with the mouthguard, the LED on the mouthguard, I think that's a super innovation, and there'll be no second guessing whether it's a HIA or not, and they can be sent off and get it tested. But yeah, the only reason I could think for Peter's comment, or to address Peter's comments, is that the hits may not be quite as severe in the women's game as compared to the men's.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, if you have 150 kilo prop hitting maybe a 90 kilo flanker or whatever, and even if you have the same variation in the women's game, let's say 100 kilo prop hitting, say, a 60 or 70 kilo flanker, you still got the same, more or less the same amount of power, I suppose, in one respect. So does it come down to tackling technique? And like, I know we brought up this up on Thursday night as well. And I gave examples of 2 tackles. One of them was Maddie Levi in the 7th for Australia, where she got almost a perfect tackle, around the back, caught the hand, got the ball, stripped the ball, great,
and ran the length of the field. Yeah.
No, I think she actually got her off her own try. I think she only got her own 10 or something like that. But she did make that clear, that kind of try-saving tackle and cleared it as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, the other one was Niamh Jones from, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago in Six Nations against England. She got perfect down, hit the rib cage, drove the English player back, and everything like that. So there must be something in the way they're coached in terms of how they're how they tackle and stuff. Len, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, like you're comparing the weight of a woman compared to the weight of a man. So I suppose would you prefer to get hit by a Ford Mondeo or an Nissan Micra kind of job? I don't really know.
I don't want to get hit by either.
I don't want to get hit by either. Yeah, exactly. Come on, James. Yeah, look, I think they are well coached. You know what I mean? There's very little foul play. There's very few high tackles. Which at the end of the day results a lot of time in HIAs and guys being upright and what have you. So yeah, look, I think there's maybe an element of both. They seem to be very well coached. You don't see there's been very few yellow red cards for straight out foul play, high tackles, clotheslines, anything like that in the World Cup at the moment. There's been a few, but not to the same extent that you get in the men's game. So maybe they are slightly better coached.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, there is. Look. Let's be honest. Here, if your wife runs at you, James, full tilt.
Which is
Or
a
Danny
point
runs at you, full
here.
tilt. Right? That's
Which is
going
a
to do
point
slightly
here.
more damage, right? And there is, there is the weight element and the muscle mass in a man compared to a woman. So you are going to feel it slightly more. So that's the chances of a HIA are higher, I suppose.
Now, Peter makes a point here. Says the weight issue is irrelevant, gents. Head contact is what it is. Doesn't matter the size of the player or the weight. So I suppose that you can have a lighter player hit a heavy player, but if they hit them right, you're going to get a concussion anyway.
Yeah, but that goes back to technique. If you're not hitting the head, you're not going to get a HIA, I suppose.
Yeah. So it must be the technique to do. Len, you said a few minutes ago there about a couple of the Munster, a lot of the new Munster players, and I suppose a lot of provinces had the new players coming in because of the World Cup and stuff like that. There is 2 or 3 Kerry women on that Munster team earlier on. There was Anna Kate Kernan from Ivra Eagles. There was Emma Dunnican from Tralee RFC and Lily Morris as well. Now, she was in the Ireland under-20 squads this summer for the under-20 tournament in, I think, was it Italy or something like that. So, there seems to be a few players coming through the youth age. So, which leads to the question, do you think having players like that missing is a good thing, to give the younger players a chance, when players are away in international duty? Just to see what talent we have there.
Absolutely. Well, I was just, it's funny you should mention that because I was just talking to my wife earlier about my daughter. And my daughter actually is extremely sporty, right? She plays soccer, hockey. She kind of excels, but she never played rugby, and I think she would have made an excellent rugby player. She has that kind of determination and competitiveness and a certain amount of aggression on the field but she never did. But I was just saying, it is like James's daughter actually plays rugby, right? And she's done very well at it. And she's on the Connacht team. During was that about 4 or 5 weeks ago, James?
Yeah, during that a summer series for the under-16.
Summer series, yeah. I was trying to remember. My memory is hazy now at the best of times. But it is a much smaller pool compared to the men's game. And I think it is a brilliant thing for girls and ladies that want to get into rugby, because if they show an aptitude for the game, they can get into the provincial, and then there's a pathway into the nationals, which is, I think, it's excellent. I think there should be more girls encouraged into rugby.
On that, Len, when Maeve was trying out for the Connacht squad, she was invited along with a lot of her teammates, and that there was something like 420 called up in Connacht alone.
That actually surprises me.
Yeah, 420, and that was whittled down to, I think it was 37. Across the 5 counties, they whittled it down to 37 players, and then they had 26 then traveling to the various games as well. So they had a pool of. Sorry,
I said, well done, Maeve.
Yeah. No, so she did well, all right. Yeah, but there was it surprised me as well that there was that money, and you know what? I was so happy to see it, that there was so much interest in the game and so much opportunity. Then this summer series, I thought, was brilliant for the under-16s, because they now have a pathway in. And when I brought Maeve over to Northampton to see the Ireland game, she was able to relate more to the players, and she could see this isn't that far away from her now. That's a target now she has. That she can realistically achieve that.
Yep.
It may or may not happen, but it's in her head now. So
but she started down the pathway. She's played.
She's gone back. She's gone back training with her club. It just started last week. Back training with Corinthians again now, and she played four and backup 10 last year, so she's going to be their starting 10 this year. Seems to be they've decided on that for her. So
Excellent.
be interested to see how that goes this season.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's absolutely fantastic. But actually, you surprised me now when you say 420.
Yeah.
Were invited along. That which is absolutely brilliant to see.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And James or Peter here saying Maeve Grennan will have banners with her name on it in the near future at Connacht games and Ireland games. Go on, Maeve.
Well, hopefully. I hope you're right, Pete.
And Gregor Gawler here says, so good to see with so many players wanting to play the game we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go back to the Munster game, Danny, the Munster Leinster game there. I only saw the highlights of that game, but it looked like Leinster didn't get going at all until after the 60th minute. There were 50 points to nil down at that stage from what I could see, and they just switched on. I don't know, was it Munster had taken the
Switched
off the gas a little bit? Job done. There's 6 tries at that stage, and maybe took the foot off the gas a little bit. But yeah, fair play to Leinster. Came back and they scored a couple of nice tries. I saw all the tries that were scored. All right, in the highlight reel, but yeah, some nice rugby, and that the Munster 10 that she had a nice 50-22 as well.
Yeah,
cracking kick altogether.
I suppose we'll move on, lads, to the last game of the weekend. Ireland versus Spain. Ireland in 24-12 at half-time, winning 43-27. So, James, what did you make of that game?
Yeah, I obviously watched that game. It was a nervy game to watch, I have to say now. A lot of people were saying to me, sure, it's only Spain. People maybe they wouldn't follow the rugby that closely, but
we'll touch on that in a minute.
Yeah. Spain are a good outfit, well-drilled team. A lot of punch in the middle there. A lot of good players and some tricky wingers as well. I wasn't at all surprised that it was so well. The scoreline didn't really reflect how close the game was. We had a very good breakaway try there by Eve Higgins, which swung the match. Like that was a 14-point swing, because Spain were on the attack and it looked like they were going to score there, and only for that, it really swung the game in Ireland's favour, and it flattered them a little bit. Yeah, good game. But I was nervous right through to the end, so I was on that one.
There is a point here that Pierre made earlier on. He said, "Gents, the Spanish tight head might rebuke James' comment, as it took 2 or 3 Irish players to tackle her." I saw her, and she, you'd know she was on the field. She is one of those atypical tight heads, kind of big and bulky and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
she was a chunky monkey, all right. That one. She fairly.
Every tight end drop is a chunky monkey, man or woman.
James, you can say that about the men's game. You can't fucking say that about the women's game. I can see a fucking roller pin coming across the screen at your fucking head in a minute, right? We have to be more fucking diplomatic here now. Fuck's sake, James. Fuck's sake.
Every tight head. Every tight head, man or woman or whatever they identify themselves are, is a chunky monkey.
Yeah.
Every tight head.
Look, can we go with this? She was as broad as she was tall. Fucking chunky monkey. Mother of Jesus Christ.
She did a lot of damage, and we lost a few players as a result. She fairly did damage there. We had a lot of injuries as a result of it.
You're going to lose fucking brownie points when your wife hears fucking this back. Go on, carry on. The comment here by Bev Edge said, "Ireland women have thoroughly surprised me with how well they are doing. Hopefully they can keep it up with it during the harder games." And of course, I suppose that will be coming next week, but we'll come on to that soon anyway. Len, Ireland, Spain, what do you make of that game? Yeah, what stood out for me was the Spanish tight head. She was a perfect unit, that girl.
Yeah.
Chunky fucking monkey. Never mind.
Actually, I've got there a minute. Sonia Croak says, "Jesus, then when did you become diplomatic?"
I'm on tablets at the moment, Sonia.
Do you know what I'm laughing at, Len? It was me that made the comment, and you're getting the abuse.
Ah, yeah, so fuck it here. Look. That's the way it works in my house the whole time. Stay up.
Peter put you in your place, said, Sonia, he's far from a diplomat.
yeah, exactly.
Look, I try every now and again. Give me a fucking break here, lads. Right.
We're trying to.
First things first. We'll recap on predictions on last week's show.
Yeah.
Peter Burke, our esteemed leader.
He loves when you call him that.
Yeah. More or less said this would be a training game.
Oh, far from it, buddy. Far from it.
Well, I think now I'll give him his due. He did ask the question: is this not just a training game for Ireland? And our other esteemed colleague, Mike Reedy, reckoned they would have Ireland would put a 50-point margin on Spain. Now, in fairness to him, he did say initially that Ireland would put 50 points on Spain. And I think myself and Matt Boland goaded him into saying it was a 50-point margin, which he stuck with in the end. So, yeah, it was far from that.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. It was a tough group, and I think Spain were targeting to win against Ireland to give them a chance to hit the quarterfinals. So we were always going to have a target on our back in that game. And in fairness to them, they done their utmost to win it. And it, as you said, it was a nervy game. Look, lads, I actually thought, compared to the flawless display that we had against Japan, like I commented, I think we all commented on last week on the back of that game, the absence of handling errors. Yeah. There were so few handling errors. We were tight, we were cohesive. We said there was a couple of issues with dealing with the restart, minor, and a couple of minor issues with the line out. Fucking hell. As James said, even though we got the early first try, which should have settled the nerves, I thought we were headless for about the first 20 minutes. We were just all over the place. I think our scramble defence actually kept us in it and kept the score as tight as it was for the first 20. Then Sam Monahan went off. Again, that didn't help. But Jesus, like our attack, look, pluses, our attack was excellent. I thought, we ran in 7 tries, so there's nothing wrong with our attack, and we varied our attack. We can take it, from the line it to a maul over the line, breakaway tries, down the wings, some nice passing. Dan O'Brien last week was 6 from 6 off the tee last week. She didn't have her kicking boots with her this week.
First 2 kicks were good, all right, but after that, then she seemed to lose her way after the second kick.
She did, but even like Stacey Flood dropped 2. There was 2 high balls come into her.
Yeah,
no pressure. She knocked them on. No,
it was raining. Big difference.
Okay, I know, like, in fairness, right? You take these things into account, but Breen came on then. She was also as bad, a very catchable ball. We were just, it was kind of a little bit frustrating to watch from, as I said, we were flawless the week before. But again, even our passing, there was, the pass not going to hand, run ahead of the pass. It was just, and I think we got caught for that. We got caught for that Spanish try, the short line out. They worked it very, very well. Yeah. In the first half, that was the first half, wasn't it? But I thought it was poor game management to not get the ball out on the 80th minute. I mean, that ball should have been held and gone. And as a result, Spain ended up getting a try on the 80th or 81st minute. Now, I don't think Scott Beeman will be too happy with that. Number one, they got caught by the same short line out the second time in a row. And then, which they should have never had. That ball should have been cleared on, and held on and cleared.
But clear line,
the question of in both of those short line outs,
Was that first?
Did the ball
Was
go
that
5 meters? It's actually.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. Did it go 5 meters? The ball?
Did it? I don't know. Well, the fucking
Mhm.
TMO and the ref.
The ref let it go, but I don't know. I wouldn't be so convinced that it went 5 meters.
In
that
either of the
first
two of them, maybe it was marginal in the first one. In the second one, I didn't seem to think so. But you look, the try stood, and that's it. It stood. But look, there was some positive. I thought Eva Dalton was very good. Amy Lee Costigan, as usual, excellent. Names Julian, Grace Moore, Brittany Hogan,
Grace Moore, unreal altogether.
isn't she?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
unreal.
Like, there was worry like Brittany Hogan didn't start, and I thought Grace Moore, like both her tries, she's
She's a unit.
a perfect unit, and she is pace, and she's an intelligent player. Look, that leads us on then, lads, to we have now made the quarter final. Actually, you probably want to ask this question, Danny, so I'll wrap up there and leave. You're the one asking the question.
I'll check you there. Our best finish was in 2014, where we finished 4th place. That was our best finish. So we have kind of made those quarterfinals, right? Peter here said, "My hand is firmly raised. I was wrong, and thanks then for reminding me, you bollocks."
Hey, my memory is shite, but if I can remember a fucking chance to get a dig at you, I will.
And Gregor Goy says, "Hope Sam is okay for Sunday or the quarterfinal, since Joe that win now did guarantee us a quarterfinal spot." All right. Peter up here says, "But gents, there was a few handling errors, stupid knock-ons, etc. The Ferns will be all over that. Flood dropped a few that day. That would be key." So we come on that on this. Was there a bit of wind there to read the goal kicking for Dana? That might have been anyway. You see, Peter, that short Spanish liner was borderline short on of the 5 meter line.
Yeah, I think it was, especially the second one. But I tell you, it was well worked, both of them. If it had gone 5 minutes, there were 2 well worked tries, and they called us both times.
Yeah, lads, Elena Perry, Lucid Prop. She got the woman of the match for Ireland. What do you make of her performance? I didn't see much of it. Do you think she?
Well, I thought she was brilliant in the scrum, and we were very, very dominant in the scrum there as a result of her play there. She was incredible, as was the whole front row. But I think one of the reasons she got that was as her dominance in the scrum there. Like, it was like the poor Spanish player had no hope with her, not a hope.
Yeah.
Just go back to we were talking about earlier about the head injuries. Bevan had a comment there about I just think us women are built differently, to be fair, she said.
Big up there now. Yeah, he goes, I think us women are she says, I think us women are just built different, to be fair.
That reminds me, you know that exercise you do with the chair against the wall, and you put your head against the wall and you take the chair out of the way. A man can't stand up, but a woman can. So maybe we are built differently, and they can just get down lower for the thing. It was just, I thought of it at the time, but the comment
more flexible
off the screen. But evening, Bevan, by the way, how are you?
Hey, Bevan.
That's Joe. That win against Spain guarantees the quarter-final spot, regardless of the results in your game the weekend. But we have New Zealand coming up. Do you think we have a chance of beating New Zealand? Len, considering the way they played at the moment.
This is it's a funny situation to be in, right?
Yeah.
Because regardless of the result, we're through to a quarterfinal. And it looks like France and South Africa are going to contend next week to top that group. So do we take do we just go out and field a team for New Zealand and concentrate on the quarterfinal? or do we try and beat New Zealand? It's a funny situation to be in. Like it's a nice comfortable situation to be in, that we can concentrate on a quarter final and not worry about our last group match. So it's just great. Do we think? Yeah, look, obviously, if we play like we did at the weekend, we won't beat New Zealand. I think everything we need to have to be, everybody has to be clued in and switched on. The handling errors have to be eliminated. Our kicking has to be fucking first class. Our scrum was good against Spain, as James said. Our scrum was very, very good. Our attack is excellent. But look, we saw the way the game against Japan. They can score and will. Now it had it did lull, and after the first 15, 20 minutes, you were expecting to rack up 80, 90 points on Japan. Fair play to the Japanese. They always stick at it. They're a freaking great nation. They never give in. They're dogged, you know. Can we beat them? Yeah, if everything, if we get everything right, yes, we can beat them. And it would be lovely to beat them and go in top in the group. But would it make much of a difference to who we face in the next round? Not really at this stage.
To be honest with you, it depends on who tops Group D as well.
Yeah.
So it really depends. Do you want to try to top the group and hope you get maybe South Africa? Or do you want to come second in the group and possibly get France?
I know. Actually, I'm beginning to wonder though, which is the bigger threat, France or South Africa? I'm actually like you would have always wanted to avoid. I think most people thought it would be either France or Italy, didn't they? Like, I mean, that would have been. Even I
thought it'd be France or Italy, I didn't expect South Africa.
No, I don't think anybody did. So now with South Africa and the mix and run. Now, personally, I would like to face South Africa, not because they're better or worse, but it'd be nice to knock South Africa out in the quarter final. Just like, you know, we could the quarter final jokes would be on our side for a change.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, to be honest, getting eliminated in the quarter final at the World Cup.
Bollocks at the end of the day.
Yeah, sometimes all right anyway.
James, don't fucking agree with me.
I will go through a few comments here and there anyway. Peter here says they are built differently and think differently. As before I got married, I never knew things had a special place in the fridge. Bevan replies, Peter, does it? I just stick it anywhere. So, that seems to eliminate that myth. Again, could come down to the person, I suppose. Say there might be another Brighton miracle like Japan versus the Sappers from 10 years ago now at this stage. Gents, don't forget Fiona says here with us that we could meet France in the quarters and we would beat them. She did say that. So like, let's see. Mike Sheedy says this Sunday Ireland women will win by 7. James,
it's a bit early to be on the fucking sauce, Mike. It's only what.
Hey, even I not fucking predicted that.
I hope you're right, Mike. I hope you're right. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Hopefully, we're better look.
James,
you got to have the face.
Yeah. James, how do you think the New Zealand Ireland match will go Sunday?
Looking at the last New Zealand performance, it's hard to say anything but a New Zealand win. But again, you know, New Zealand are going to be looking through to the quarterfinal as well. They're qualified as well, so they're going to be looking down the line. Do they want to put out, you know? Yeah, I was going to say their best players, but they're no bad players. They want to be risking anyone. Are they going to put out an experimental team against Ireland, and are Ireland going to put out an experimental team against them? Scott Beeman hasn't said that he's going to take the foot off. That they want to win all their matches. He said they wanted a performance and they want to make sure they get a good performance and they keep improving. The team v Spain was fairly different to the team v Japan. So he did mix it up a bit. You know, who's going to get? We have a few injuries now that we have to count into the mix as well. So it'd be interesting to see who's fit enough, and will we be able to field the players that we want to field v New Zealand, and then if you have who you think you're going to need for the quarterfinal, will you risk them against New Zealand?
Yeah, so
a lot of questions there. I have no answers. A lot of questions.
Yeah, lads, it's a dead rubber. The Ferns game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, it is
Potentially could be. Yeah.
So I mean, like, to be honest with you, New Zealand, both men and women, they go into a World Cup. They're an entirely different beast. We've seen that with the first two matches with them. I know we'll probably be their toughest test, and Joe, they'll be our toughest test until the quarterfinal. Which begs the question now, lads, and I come to you on the first, James. Would you rather Ireland get New Zealand, or would you rather Ireland get France or South Africa in the quarterfinals?
I think France would be harder to beat than South Africa. And as Len said, I'd love to see Ireland knocking South Africa out in the quarterfinals. That would be sweet. So for that alone, I'd agree with Len. I'd prefer to see us play South Africa.
Len, I think you're saying the same. Ireland, South Africa in the quarterfinal, preferably, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, in fairness, France have the experience. South Africa, I don't think do. Like they're flying at the moment in that group, but I think they'd be an easier team regardless of how well they're performing at the moment. Yeah, and look, to knock South Africa out in the quarterfinal, just for the bragging rights on the social media, rugby channels for just.
But it'd be probably the ref's fault.
Even if we went no further.
You know what, lads? I know this is going to sound good, but I'd say some South African rugby supporters would say that doesn't count.
Well, look, I'll put it you this way. If we were to meet South Africa in a quarterfinal, and they knocked us out,
does it count then?
Would it count?
Yeah,
we never heard of it.
Yeah.
I see. Gregor has a comment there. Bear in mind that Aoife Wafer might be back now. Would we risk Aoife Wafer in a game against New Zealand if we wanted her for a quarterfinal and potentially a semi-final?
On the flip side of that, James, do you not think if she is fit, which there's rumours that she is, maybe she might need a game time for the quarterfinal?
Yeah, maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, just to get her, a run out in the legs.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, because I think the same thing that, and even Peter said here anyway, he says that you give Aoife away for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Max, maybe just give the run out, to see how she gets back into the team, because like I don't think she's played now since Six Nations. So that amount of time out, of course, take a bit of time anyway. Let's see, it won't count if the All Black beat the Saffers.
What was that?
That's from Greg.
He has a point, to be honest with you. It's going to go down. I suppose that's all we have to cover for tonight, though, is it? I know we're about 20 minutes short and stuff like that. But is there anything else to discuss, or will we call tonight?
Do you want predictions?
I suppose, all right. Right. New Zealand versus Ireland, then.
Look, it depends. It depends what teams both sides field, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. As James said, New Zealand might want to rest players, Ireland might want to rest players, so this could be a fucking free-for-all. We have no idea. So it's actually very, very hard to call. So if everything went right for Ireland regardless, I still think you know what? For the fucking crack, I'm going to go Ireland by a very slim margin. If everything goes right.
Let's do a score.
A score? Yeah, just
Yeah,
fucking the bare minimum. If everything goes right, and depends what kind of a team New Zealand fields. Just for the hell of it.
James, how did you see the Ireland New Zealand game going?
That young 10 they have there is something special. Just see her in action the last day. If she performs like she did and runs the game like she did, it's a New Zealand win. But if we can close her down, and I believe the Ireland team have the potential to do that, there'll be only 15 players on each side. For the most of the game probably, unless there's cards involved. It'll be 15 of them against 15 of us, and why not? I'm gonna go with a 3-point win for Ireland.
And just on that, James, fucking at the moment, New Zealand can't seem to finish any game with 15 players on the pitch, so you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I know, just a shout out as well, actually, when we're on it. I just almost forgot. Portia Woodman, Woodman, Wycliffe. Fuck, I tell you, it must be
incredible.
A commentator's nightmare, the Women's World Cup. Every fucking name is fucking double barreled. There has World Rugby has to bring in a fucking law. Stick your name, or just for the rugby purposes.
Well, Amy Lee has shortened hers up by 25%. Maybe Murphy
Jesus Christ almighty. It's just getting out of hand at this stage. But anyway, Portia Woodman to get the record, which I'm gutted about, because our own Dougie held it for so long. It was where we were fucking Kiwis, but he was a star at Munster, and it was but I'm sure he's delighted for her, and she's an amazing player. Fantastic.
Incredible.
Yeah. Bev asking, says, are any of you coming over for Ireland? Are any of you coming over for any of the Ireland games? James, you're going to the games, aren't you?
I was over for the opening game against Japan, but I'm afraid that's the only one we'll make. It's an expensive trip. Had a marathon journey on the way back. We took the car over, myself and my daughter, and we left Northampton at 8:15 for the ferry on Monday. That was leaving at 2:00. We're making great guns altogether. We got up as far as halfway up the country anyway, and we were doing great. Decided to pull into the services for a quick toilet break and a cup of coffee. Came out, bumper to bumper, traffic had stopped. We were sitting there for ages. Got through it anyway. And we had 2 hours to go still to get to the ferry, and we were bombing along anyway. Got in as far as the port. The last check-in was at 1:30. We got in at 1:35. Got pulled into what you call it, customs. Opened the bonnet, opened the boot, all that crap.
I'd be stopping you as well, James, if I saw you.
And then we were the last.
He's smuggling fucking boot full of dad jokes.
Yeah.
And show you that jokes as well.
We were the last car getting onto the ferry. And of course,
they've seen your fucking Facebook post, James. What did they fucking pull you in?
Can you blame him? Can you fucking blame him?
But when you hear, we got my daughter was worried about getting for training back to Corinthians. Would be back in Galway in time, and I said this is the slow boat. We won't get into Dublin until 6:00. And then she wanted to know when we get to Liffey Valley in time to get to whatever shop she wanted to go to. We got to Liffey Valley with 15 minutes to spare, and we bit down the motorway. Then I never saw a girl making her decision so fast on her life. Any female ever making a decision. She was around the shop like a fucking tornado.
He's at it again. Look.
But anyway,
he's just his own grade here. Then
we got down through the as far as the toll, and next thing there was a contraflow, and the contraflow went all the way down, and it passed where the road splits between Galway and Sligo, and we ended up going down through Longford. So we left Northampton at 8:15, and we got into our own house at 10:15 that night. It was a torturous journey. Absolute torturous journey.
I don't know. I can believe it, James. The story sounds longer than the fucking journey.
So anyway, Bevan's question. I won't be going over for another game, Bevan. Sorry.
Chunky monkey. Women can't make a decision. All he needs now to do is fucking forget an anniversary.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck it, lad. I was about to say, next year you is get his fucking anniversary.
I think,
James, you're way ahead of me in the game. You'll never fucking be as bad as me. Carry on.
I think my wife is annoyed with me. I gave her handed her a Pritt stick instead of her lip balm. She still hasn't spoken to me.
I mean, you didn't even fucking pick up a fucking Toblerone, James. For fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake, Brennan.
No, we brought back presents.
A fucking bunch of flowers for fucking €3 in the service station when you went in.
No. We brought back presents.
Okay, hell. The rugby fucking podcast turned into a fucking marriage counselling show. Come on, carry on.
I don't know that. Unfortunately, Woodman here. She goes, Gregor Gowrie goes, congrats to her on her record for most tries anyway. And Gregor here again, kudos to you, James. Joe, I suppose we're going over to the game.
Thanks, Gregor.
We'll finish up on this one, lads, and we'll call it tonight in because I am absolutely fucking Ben Jack's wrecked.
Danny, you look at like the sweat's coming out through there. You can actually see it.
Yeah, I know. You can see the gate in.
No, honest to God, you can.
Yeah, I know.
Nice bat you need.
It's a Peter here. It's a two-part question. Would a global rugby calendar work, and is it needed? Len?
I think it is needed, without a doubt. I think for player welfare, the amount of games are playing between World Cup, Rugby Championship, URC, fucking top 14. Yes, without a doubt. But as Matt Williams touched on when he was on the show there last week, it is the French that are basically putting the kibosh on any hopes of a global calendar. In that case, to be quite honest with you, well, look, money talks, money and TV rights. You know, we saw the French and the English trying to fucking pull a coup and do their own fucking thing a few years ago. Look, if they're going to dig their heels in, maybe World Rugby should say, right, lads, you don't want to be part of it. This is what we're going to do. Tough fucking shit, and organise it without them. So they really will have no option but to get in line. And I really think, because the season is like look at Tyke Byrne. The amount of games Tyke Byrne has played from the start of the URC, fucking Six Nations, the Lions, fucking hell. The guy needs about 6 months off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not the only one by any manner means. But you know what I mean? If you're playing for club, you know, province, country, with the amount of games and then the travel, and look, there's rumours now that there's going to be an American franchise coming to the URC if they cut the Welsh teams.
Yeah.
Now, you imagine throwing in travel to the USA
in South Africa.
Yeah.
Well, look, at least there's no time difference in South Africa.
Yeah, that's true.
It's straight down. But you're traveling over to the States. For fuck's sake, lads! Like I know they're professional players. They get well paid for what they do. Like a fraction of what the Wendy ball players get paid. But you know, they're only human, and you know, they're performing at the top level. You know, me, you, and James do. We can have a couple of pints and have a fucking pizza and a fucking Chinese or whatever. These guys have to watch their diet. You know, like they're on for their whole playing career. It's not fucking going. So yeah, I think a World Rugby calendar, I think it actually needs to come in. If they're serious about player welfare, I think it does need to come in and streamline the whole fucking lot. Yeah, between North and the Southern Hemisphere, just get it fucking sorted. But look, there you go. That's my tuppence worth.
James, your thoughts on the global World Rugby calendar?
I agree with Len there, but I'm just looking at we were talking about the last comment that came in there at 21:15. You might throw it up, Danny. We're talking about all the double barrel and triple barrel names. We have our own contributor here, Bev Emery Burke. She can be on that list as well. So she said,
there's a comment in here. I'll throw up in a minute now. So
she's going watching the preseason Connacht match on Friday night. That's against Bristol Bears. That should be a good one. And she's coming over for the Interpros. And I hope to meet up with you this time, Bevan, because we're about 10 feet apart in the stadium the last day and didn't see each other. So hopefully next time we'll get that sorted out.
You were probably surrounded by your minders at the time, though.
Yeah, just make sure that no one heard the dad jokes. But Brian, your thoughts on the World Rugby calendar alignment?
Yeah, it's something that's needed. But as Len said, money is going to talk there, and it'll all come down to cash at the end of the day. So, yeah, as much as we might like it and have it and all that, player welfare is the only thing that really push it. But again, it's money, and that's the bottom line, really.
Yeah, I suppose. Lads, I am absolutely and utterly benjexed. I think we've talked about everything we can talk about. So, James Brennan, Len, good night. Everyone, thanks for coming as well. Anyway.
Yeah, well done there, Danny.
See you, James.
See you, man. Good night.
Everyone, thanks for your comments on YouTube, Facebook, and if anyone's still here watching, listen out for the episode on Spotify as well when it comes up. Lads, until next week, I'll talk to you then.
Bye, boys. Talk to you later.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Take it easy, lads.